I found the longer I was in alternative healthcare, there was this kind of friction, where alternative healthcare looks down her noses at modern healthcare and modern healthcare looks down her noses at alternative healthcare. And I think they've both got their merits. And I think my personal opinion is that modern healthcare shines in acute medicine. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to the Quality of Life Quest. My name is Anneke. Why do I work as a healthcare assistant for the NHS? Which is a really good question, seeing that I've got loads of qualifications. My basic qualification is as an engineer. I'm also qualified to train gymnastics and jazz ballet. I'm a Reiki master. I'm a trainer of NLP, timeline therapy, hypnosis. I do sports massage. The list is long, and that's not all of it. There's some more that I don't really use an awful lot. So why would I want to work as a healthcare assistant? And to be clear, because not everyone listening to this is from Great Britain, a healthcare assistant in hospital is someone who makes sure that you've got something to eat and to drink and that you stay clean. I also bring people to their various appointments or to their respective new wards. And when I say make sure they eat and drink, I help them eating and drinking. And when I say clean, I mean that I also clean people when they have fouled themselves. So if you need your bum wiped, I'm your person. And if the bed is dirty because of it, then I'm your person. If the whole patient is dirty because of it, I'm your person. That's the main roles of the healthcare assistant. So why would I want to do that? Because it is the lowest job you can find. It's the lowest band you can find in the NHS, to the best of my thinking. You would think it starts with band 1. I don't know who's band 1. I'm band 2. I wanted to see and experience the good bits of modern healthcare. So as you may have heard in my background video, I didn't start out in alternative healthcare. I didn't start out working for the NHS, but I also didn't start out in alternative healthcare. I started out as an engineer. And because I was ill myself and couldn't find the right things for me within the NHS, I came to alternative healthcare, and then I wanted to find out what the thing was that did the trick to get me better. And that's how I came into alternative healthcare. And initially I didn't believe in it. That's not true. There were some things that I did believe in. I believed in diet and herbs and potions derived of herbs. I didn't necessarily believe in Reiki. But I studied all of those things anyway. And I've been working in that field since 2000. So it's now the 20th of August, 2025. So that's a long time. I've been doing this a long time. And for a long time, I didn't really go to see doctors, also because I didn't need to. But I found the longer I was in alternative healthcare, there was this kind of friction, where alternative healthcare looks down her noses at modern healthcare and modern healthcare looks down her noses at alternative healthcare. And I think they've both got their merits. And I think my personal opinion is that modern healthcare shines in acute medicine. So trauma and imaging, they're really good at that. So in order to find out about that, to learn more about that, how do you go about it? And the opportunity came up to work as a healthcare assistant, which on paper is an easy job. How wrong I was. It's one of the most challenging things I've ever done. And most days I come home with a list of, I still have to do this, that, and the other. Thank goodness for the people in the night shift that they can take over certain things. It's a really challenging job in the acute ward, so acute medical unit. It is a challenging job. So what do I get from it? I get to see a vast amount of really ill people. Sure, most of them would never ever come to me if I put myself up as an alternative healthcare practitioner, because they just don't believe in it, and they do believe in modern healthcare, and which is fine, each to their own. But I see so many really ill people that it gives me a kind of unique perspective. It redefines certain conditions in my mind. I get to see the extremes. And I hope that what I learn from it is that there will be an understanding within me who I need to refer to A&E. That I learn for myself where I can draw the line. This now is beyond my capabilities. This needs to go to A&E. Not because of me thinking that a certain condition can't be helped with alternative medicine, but because it has come to such an extent, to such an extreme, that you really need to go into A&E without getting into details. Do I ever want to qualify as a nurse or as a doctor? No, my love for alternative medicine is too great. And if I look at the responsibilities the nurses have on our ward, it's unbelievable. It is unbelievable, the responsibilities they have. And I would have to learn things and do things that are not aligned with me and my beliefs and who I am. So a healthcare assistant is it for me right now. I get to learn all those things whilst I get paid for it. It may not be much, but at least it's something. And I wouldn't be able to get this in another way. It's similar to when people go through a really dark patch in their lives and come out at the other end, and they'll say, well, in a way, I'm grateful for it because I've learned things, or it put me on a path that I would never have considered, or, I wouldn't have learned any other way. This is similar. I can't think of another profession that would give me the same insights and the same teachings and learnings as being healthcare in the acute setting. Yeah, I enjoy it. A lot of the patients say, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, when they've filed themselves or when they need help. And I go, hey, you're keeping me in a job. It's all good. It's all part and parcel of it. And I really don't mind. I really don't mind. It's a challenge. Flipping heck, it's a challenge. The whole job, even though on paper it's easy, once you get to do it, I haven't cracked the code yet to make it easy. Some people have. I don't know how they do it, but they've got spare time during the day. I don't have spare time. I'm running around like a blue-arsed fly, according to one of my patients. I haven't cracked that particular code. Of course, it depends on the patients on the day, how many people you've got who need assistance of one or two, because assistance of one is me, assistance of two is me plus either the nurse, who's quite often too busy, or another healthcare assistant who just needs to happen to have time. And it depends. Sometimes you've got lots of people who need assistance, and other times you've got a lot of people who are independently mobile and can look after themselves. That's a big difference. There's still a lot to learn from me. A lot. I need to be careful, though, that I keep in mind why I'm doing this, because it's easy for me to get sucked into a learning rabbit hole, and I should guard myself for that. And this gives me a lot of ideas and good practices for when I've got my own healthcare center. You may know that I'm looking to buy land, a small holding, which in America they call a homestead or a farm. I'm not opposed to more acreage, but at least a small holding, and to start a healthcare center there. And it's a really good experience to have once I've got that. This is a good experience to have in the bag for once I'm running my own healthcare center. So I hope I've highlighted the highlights of why I do this. It's a tough job. It's physically demanding. It's emotionally demanding. It's spiritually demanding. When you see people who are suffering to such a degree and are end of life, and you think this is just unfair, why? Why? Why them? Why at this age? Why, they may have children. Why? This is one of the most horrible diseases there is. Why? Those questions are tricky, and it's hard on just about every level. And there are moments in time where I have to step out of the room or even out of the building and be outside for a moment, because life isn't fair. It isn't fair. Sometimes you think, yes, this makes sense, but most of the times it's not fair. I don't have answers to that. I try to be there for the patients. I try to be there for the family, and that's all I can do. I do have to remind myself I only have one pair of hands and only one body to get the tasks completed. I find it very difficult to not finish my list of jobs. At this moment in time, I've got no desire to stop it. There's still so much to learn for myself, for me to grow as a human being and to grow as a healthcare provider, not only as a healthcare assistant, but also as a therapist. It's an interesting job, and I'll keep on doing it as long as they want me and as long as it serves me. So there comes a time where I will have to make choices. I would easier make the choice of decreasing the amount of hours than to stop the amount of hours. I do really enjoy my work there. So that's it. If you've got any further questions, by all means, ask. I hope that makes sense. Right. I'm going to love you and leave you. Thank you for listening. Remember, every step you take in your own quest for a better quality of life counts. Whether they be small steps, big leaps, or anything in between. Keep at it and enjoy the process. I mean, I'm really enjoying being a healthcare assistant. It may be a lowly job, and I make the most of it. I really enjoy what I do. May the land rise up to meet you. Until we meet again, see you. Bye.